Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. With all respect to the honorable judges, to all of the audiences, and my friends who I love so much. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let us say thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to Almighty, who has been giving us blessings and guidance so that we can all gather in this blessed place. Secondly, may salawat and salam always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has brought us from the darkness to this modern bright era we are living today. I am Muhammad Arya, and I stand here today to deliver my speech entitled, "Why Does Fantasy Serve a Catalyst for Change in Shaping the Future?" Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about fantasy or future life, maybe you will have some question. Why do we should raise our fantasy? What is the benefit that we can obtain by managing our fantasy? According to Mona Lisa Darwin, a psychologist creed in Network Psychology Institute said that raising and managing our fantasy is necessary because, one, it can help develop creativity, especially for children. Two, you will understand yourself more. It will help you understand what you want and what you need. Three, for certain people, fantasy can help them plan their future plans. My dear audience, moreover, fantasy can actually influence a person's behavior and belief. Research shows that when someone is immersed deeply in a fantasy, they tend to be influenced. Experts call this phenomenon as experience taking. In this phenomenon, a person will slowly adopt their behaviors, thoughts, beliefs, and internal response according to a fantasy. A research that was conducted by Geoff Kaufman from Dartmouth College in Hanover showed that experience taking can slowly change the behavior of a person's daily habit, and in certain conditions, if it is not properly managed, it can bring terrible impact for your life. Respectable audience, fantasy, mindfulness, and overthinking can someone be good. For some reason, thinking about the future can trigger anxiety. But a growing body of research suggests that it can also make our life more meaningful. Humans are not alone in having some ability to consider the future, a process that scientists call prospection. Let us see together how prospection can bring unique benefits to humans. For example, we make save for our children's education or plan for our retirement from now. We can make predictions about our own future based on what we've learned to other person experiences, and we can consider multiple directions our future might take. It is remarkable ability to stimulate our possible future that makes prospection special. Some studies suggest that prospecting about your future can enrich your life in one, help us make more prudent decisions. Perhaps one of the most fundamental functions of prospection is that it helps us decide how to act. Several studies have examined how thinking about the future shapes our decision making. Researchers have been particularly interested in the psychology that drives our process of deciding between receiving something now versus receiving something of greater value later. 2. Improve psychological well-being. There is evidence that prospection may improve psychological health more generally. It might even help people who are struggling with depression and those recovering from trauma. My dear audience, based on my explanation above, it is obvious that we can have a fantasy to build our future. But, however, it should be well managed and controlled. I think that's all I can say. Once again, let's together grow, manage and control our fantasy to be a good, qualified generation in the future. Thanks for the opportunity. Sorry for every single mistake I've ever made. And thanks for your nice attention. My name is Muhammad Arya and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.